Hi, today we are talking about notation for the definition of the derivative. The f of x over dx is equal to the limit as h tends to inf 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. In some textbooks, they use delta for instead of h for the little change. What I mean is that the f of x all over the x is equal to the limit as delta x approaches 0 of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. So these two definition of derivative are the same. Let's look at some examples. Use the h notation for the definition of the derivative to find f prime of x, given that f of x equal to square root of x. For the solution of this, let me explain that f prime of x is the same as writing the f of x all over the x. So the same thing. So we are going to look for the derivative of the square root of x. So equal to, using the definition of this definition here, so we'll have the limit as h approaches 0 of the square root of x plus h minus the square root of x all over h. Next, we need to find a way to get the h out of the denominator so we can let h approach 0. From this equation, we will use the conjugate of square root of x plus h minus the square root of x. Next, we'll have the derivative of square root of x over the x, which is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of the square root of x plus h minus square root of x all over h. So we multiply this times its conjugate, square root of x plus h plus square root of x all over same conjugate square root of x plus h plus square root of x. So what we are going to do, we are going to distribute that. Let's put that in parentheses so that we don't want to make mistake when we are multiplying. So we do expansion of these values. So we say the square root of x plus h times square root of x plus h. Let me draw a line to demarcate this. So we are going to have still on the limit of h as it approaches 0 of when we multiply square root of x plus h times square root of x plus h, we'll have x plus h minus square root of x plus h times square root of x plus square root of same x plus h times the square root of x minus when we multiply the square root of negative x times the square root of the uh, positive square root of x, we end up having minus x all over. Then we multiply the denominator h times the square root of x plus h plus square root of x, and we'll have h. Now we can put this other one in parentheses, square root of x plus h, then plus square root of x. Now at the numerator, we can see that this is negative square root of x plus h times square root of x, and this is its positive square root of x plus h times it. So this can clearly cancel out. And also we have here x, positive x, and we also have a negative x. So this x also can also clear out. So x minus x, so those ones are out. So we are just left with the limit as h tends to 0 of h all over h into square root of x plus h plus square root of x. Now we can see the numerator and the denominator, they both, yeah, there is h at the numerator and h, so this can also cancel out. So we are left with 1 all over the square root of x plus h plus square root of x. And if this h tends to 0, if we this h here, if it tends to 0, if the limit tends to 0, then we are going to have our the derivative of square root of x all over the x equal to 1 all over square root of x plus square root of x. And this will give us 1 all over 2 square root of x. And this, we can write this one as, that's I have multiplying x to the power of negative 1 over 2. Thank you.